What's going on, world? And welcome to Clearing the Wreckage Podcast. It's the voice and your host, Kareem A. Rashid. And once again, I don't know what you got going on. You could be getting on the toilet, or you could be getting off the toilet. Hell, for all I know, you could be wiping your tushy. But I know that I'm ready. And so I hope that you're ready to clear the wreckage. Yes, indeed. What's going on today, my peeps, my friends, my fellow wreckage clearers? You cannot grow without accepting yourself. That is what we're going to talk about today. That is going to be the title of our conversation. I have met you at the coffee shop. I hope you got your drink. I got mine in my own cup. Yes, let's go ahead and get started. Last week, we went over this a little bit already. Today, I want to dive just a little bit deeper with you on this topic. Why, Kareem? I feel like we've been talking about acceptance a lot. We've been talking about love a lot. Well, here's why. For one, it's part of my journey and part of my story that I am sharing with you. For two, this is vital for personal growth and development and becoming the best version of yourself, or should I say becoming a better version of yourself today. Yes. And so remember back in the day, we discussed the 4 A's. I don't know if you even remember that or recall. I think it was episode 32 or 33, something like that. I suggest and recommend going back and listening to those episodes, because today we're kind of going to talk about the 4th A, which was acceptance. And the 4 A's, what are they? Awareness, acknowledge, admit, and then accept. Those are the 4 A's. And me personally, I believe this, y'all. Obviously, because I shared it with you about the 4 A's before, I believe that you must practice the first 3 A's in order to get to that last A, which is acceptance. 1, 2, 3, then you are home at home base, comfortable in your own skin. Then from there, you can grow. That is your starting point. Home is always your starting point. As my friend, my brother, Trent Shelton would say, it all starts with you. He says that at the end of every podcast episode that he does with his followers, with his community. So we both are similar in ways of knowing that it starts with us. And of course, my motto is take the time to look inside, right? We got to look at us. We got to begin with ourselves. We got to look at ourselves in the mirror. We are the starting point. Home is the starting point, but we must go to first, second, third base before we get to home. And home, to me, at least, is that acceptance of self, right? Because it is hard for you to accept yourself, probably because you made it to first base, but you didn't even believe you made it there. You expected to fail. You expected not even to hit the ball. You're totally surprised that you even hit the ball at all. You're like, oh my God, I hit the ball. You're surprised by that. And so you're also surprised that you even made it to first. And then once you get to first, you even start questioning that. Am I supposed to be here? How did I make it this far? Nope, something bad is going to happen, is bound to happen. I know it because I'm not worth making it to first base. I'm not worth this love. I'm not worth anything. I suck at baseball. There's no way that I even was able to hit that ball. I can't even swing properly. You have all of these questions, all of these thoughts from that inner critic, right? We all have the inner critic. We've talked about this before. We all have it. Well, I'm not going to make it to second base. I don't know how I made it here to first, so I'm definitely not going to make it to second base. I'm not deserving to make it to second base. I'm sure enough not deserving to make it to third, and then home? What? Without getting out? I'm supposed to get out. I laugh because, folks, this is me, my friends. This is me. And I know that with me sharing that with you, that it is some of you too. It is how we think. We have that inner critic inside of us that wants to speak loud, very loud. And so what happens is we've already psyched ourselves out. The key word there would be psych. Our psyche may be just a little bit damaged. It could be from the things that we faced as a child. It could be from the things that people said to us, which damaged our psyche a little bit. Again, how you see yourself, your self-perception, is going to have a lot to do with whether you can accept yourself. If all you see is your flaws and your shortcomings, then it's going to be a little difficult for you to accept yourself. You may say, well, I hit the ball, but I didn't hit it hard enough. That's a shortcoming. That's a flaw. And you may see that flaw rather than just seeing the fact that you hit the ball. Well, I'll never get to second base. I don't deserve to be at first base. Not with that sloppy hit. How we see and talk to ourselves plays a big role in whether we will be able to make it home, whether we will be able to make it to the acceptance point. Yes. For me, back in 2017, thank God I was experiencing divine love. This is why we talked about experiencing divine love, and this is why we talked about divine love and acceptance last week, because I wanted to share with you some of these things about me. I mean, thank God I was experiencing that, right? Because that is what helped me to learn to accept myself. Last week's statement, divine love is the source of acceptance. Remember that statement that was made in the conversation? And do to me what? How did I receive that acceptance? How did I come to that place of acceptance? And how is divine love the source of that? Because I was meditating to improve my connection, right? I was praying to improve my connection. I was practicing gratitude. I was spending time in silence. I was spending time in nature. I spent time with the divine. I was affirming myself. All these things, right? I was beginning to do, and I was growing in the acceptance of self. Now, did I have my moments? Come on now. I'll be lying if I sat before you and said, nope, I was totally accepting myself all the time, every single day. I was okay with myself. No, that would be a big fat fib. That would be a fable. That would be a story. That would be fiction. Yeah. So, of course, I had my moments. There are moments I wrestled with that inner critic at times. That voice would come in and was trying to tell me that I'm a failure. There's no way you made it to a year sober. Because by 2017, I was a year sober. There's no way you made it a year sober. Nope, you relapsed somewhere in there. You're not a year sober. I mean, that voice was even coming in there. Now, how in the hell is that voice voice going to come in there? It's a total lie. And I believed it. Like, oh, man, I must be dead. Did I have a drink somewhere? Oh, man, there's no way I'm a year sober. And then the voice would be like, yep, you're not a year sober. There's no way you're a year sober. You're going to relapse soon. There's no way you're going to make it another day sober. No way. Look at your history, Kareem. You have failed at this. Don't you remember that you just was drinking and using drugs not even a year ago? How do you think that you are going to go any further in this recovery journey without relapsing? That is what the voice would say to me. The voice was very loud. And so when that voice was speaking loud, what did I do? I shared this with you last week. I hope you were paying attention. I prayed, I meditated, I went for a walk, I wrote down what I was grateful for, right? I took out my journal, I wrote my thoughts out, I counteracted that voice with the next right thing. Okay, what do I need to do in this moment that is right for me? But I also was aware of it. That's the other thing. I was aware of that. I'm aware of this voice speaking to me. I hear you. I acknowledge that. I'll admit that I got some crazy stuff going on in my head. And then I was able to accept myself. So I want you to go back in time as we're having this conversation and figure out what it is that has you not accepting yourself. Because there's something. Because first, you have to become aware of it. Then you have to acknowledge. Then you have to admit so that you can accept yourself. And what I mean by accepting yourself, accepting your current self. Let me also state to you that whenever I was in the past or the future, there was no acceptance of self. There cannot be any acceptance of yourself if you are in the past or the future. Here's why. Because when I was having thoughts of the past, I thought of all the bad and how I messed up. Then when I was having thoughts of the future, there was nothing but anxiety and fear. Oh, man, well, I am going to mess up because that's what I do. I fail at this. I'm not successful. I'm not victorious. So in the present is where acceptance flows. Yes, your current reality. And in that current reality, that is the reality that you must accept. Now let's take the person that made it to first base. Let's have some fun, shall we, in this conversation? Let's have a little bit of fun. Let's take the person that made it to first base. First, they had to hit the ball, right? And that is in the past. So whether or not they hit the ball hard enough, it doesn't really matter now, does it? They are currently on first base. Whether or not they had 2 strikes is irrelevant, right? They are currently on first base. So why not rejoice? Why not rejoice? If I was the person that got to first base, I hit the ball, I got to first base, I'm on first base rejoicing. Woo-hoo, boy, I made it to first base. That is how we should be. That is acceptance of yourself, acceptance of your current reality. Woo, man, I made it to first base. All right, I got to stay here on first base until I'm able to move along to second base. I accept that I can't go anywhere right now until I'm able to move along to second base. I accept that there are things that I have to do in order to make it to second base. There are things that my teammates have to do in order for me to make it to second base. But I accept that I am here on first base. I like where I am at because obviously I hit that ball and I made it to first. Now, I'm going to go over acceptance and approval and how they are not the same thing in a moment. And we're going to talk about that because you may not like everything that happened. Like, I got to first base, but I really don't like the way I hit the ball. Even though that's irrelevant, I don't like it. I learned from that. I could take that piece of information and apply it to the next time that I get up to hit that ball on base. I am going to hit it this way so that I can move forward to second base instead of just first. But I accept my current reality that has me on first base. Yes, I made it here. I have done good because I am good. Wait a moment. Hold on. What? Yeah, I'm bringing that back to you, right? Yeah. Because I am good. Inherently, I am good. I deserve to freaking be on first base. I deserve it because I am good. I am a great baseball player, and I can hit that ball, and I can make it to first. Yeah. And so that's the thing. So I think that sometimes we think too much. And and when I say we, I'm including myself in all of this. We think too much. I mean, because if that was me, I'm the person that made it to first base. Here's my thoughts. Here's what will come with that. Well, I mean, my shoe came untied as I was running to the base. Almost got tripped up. I would be thinking that. I think too much. Well, they almost got me out because I was running too slow to the first base. I mean, what is the fact? The fact is that they made it to first base. So it doesn't matter how I got there. It doesn't matter how that person gets to first base. They got there. It doesn't matter how long it took. They got there. You are at your current reality, first base. You are there because you got there. And see, I start thinking a lot, and then I start thinking about, so that last part that I just shared with you was me thinking of the past. Well, my shoe was untied, so I could have got tripped up. Oh, man, I was running too slow. They could have got me out. That's me thinking of the past. Then I start thinking about the future. Well, oh, man, what if I don't make it to second base? Oh, man, something's going to happen to where I'm not going to be able to make it to second base. What if this? What if that? What if my teammate gets out? What if? And that goes on and on and on. And then what comes in? Stress and anxiety and fear. It's never going to get us anywhere. Never going to get us anywhere. So we have this thing, and I'm just going to share this, just tidbit piece of information. We have this thing in recovery where we celebrate our time of sobriety. Why do we do that? We celebrate our time of sobriety so that we can learn to not only accept ourselves, but rejoice in our current reality, right? And the current reality is it doesn't matter how much time you have, because the current reality can be different for everyone else that is in that recovery meeting. So it may be one or two people in there that may be celebrating, 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, so forth and so on. It may be somebody in there that's celebrating 6 months. It may be somebody in there that's celebrating 30 days. They just got a month clean and sober. But each person is celebrating that time. It may be somebody in there that only has 24 hours of sobriety. And the great thing that happens in that moment is that when these people are celebrating that time, oh my gosh, you get to rejoice in not only seeing that happen for those other people as a person that is there But you get to rejoice and go, man, goodness. I got up and I got my 1-year chip and I was like, wow, I made it a year. You get to rejoice in the fact that you are here at this current reality, a year sober. Then, somebody else may get up and be like, oh, man, you know what? I made it 2 years. You get to rejoice and celebrate in that and accept yourself. I am here at 2 years of sobriety. Wow. Or, you know what, man? I am here. I just came off of a relapse, and I am walking back into this support group to receive the support that I need because I accept myself where I am at, and I know that this is my beginning point. Home. You get what I'm saying? I just wanted to throw that out there. That's just something I just decided to share with you because that's something, that's part of my life, and I'm sharing my life with you. But because what has us, or had me, I should say, stuck in my addiction was my thoughts of the past and the future, which made me neglect the present, which made me forsake the present. Not accept myself. Not accepting yourself is almost like that. It's neglect or reject. Because acceptance means to receive, to welcome in, to receive, right? So the opposite of that would be reject. So why are you rejecting yourself? Why do we reject ourselves instead of accepting ourselves? So let's talk about why it's so important and vital for growth real quick, okay? Also, let me share with you how in my marriage at that time, because I was married in 2017, and I've already shared this with you before, but I want to reiterate how seeing that reflection of me, and what I mean the reflection being my ex-wife as the past me, was certainly helping me to accept myself more. And you probably may have somebody in your life who reminds you of yourself, but you have to be aware of it first so that you can acknowledge it, then admit it, then accept yourself. So here is why self-acceptance is vital for growth. Because personal growth or improvement or development, whatever we want to say about that, we want to label it this and that, I just label it growing up. Stop being a kid, grow up. Why it's important for you to stop being a kid and grow up and accept yourself is because self-acceptance, it begins with the honest appraisal of where you are now. It begins with that awareness. It begins with that acknowledging and that admitting. You cannot improve while being in denial about your weaknesses. So this self-acceptance will also foster the resilience because your worth is no longer tied to your successes. We talked about the worth, right? So that divine love is the source of the acceptance because inherently, man, the divine loves me. Inherently, I am good. Inherently, I am divine. Those are 3 things that you can already know about yourself that will help you bring yourself into acceptance of yourself, I should say, rather than. So this self-acceptance will actually foster that resilience, right? You'll be able to bounce back a little bit easier because you're not tied. Your identity is not tied to that. Your identity is not tied to how good you perform or how perfect you can be because you already know that you are good enough. Catch my drift? All right, and so with that, setbacks will feel more like information rather than failing, which allows you to just allows you to get up faster, right, and try again. That's what it allows for. That's what resilience is. Getting up quicker and trying again. Like the little bird that I spoke about last week. Right? The little bird knows that he or she is meant to fly. How do they know? Because they've already seen their mom doing it. Their mom flies back and forth with food to the nest, and feeding them. So they know, oh, I am a bird. I am meant to fly. They know what they're meant to do. They know their purpose. They know why they are here. That's the opposite of us as humans. We forget why we're here. We are here to remember who we are. I am not going to get into that word remember. I said I said to y'all before that I'm going to break that word down, but let me go and break it down. Remember. Maybe I should go ahead and break it down for you. Your body is a member. But it is a member of something else also. And so you are here to remember. You're here to align. You're here to remember that you are a part of something else, something bigger. You are here to put yourself in membership with that member. Remember. You're here to do it again and again. Remember, means to do over. You put the prefix re in front of things because it means to do over. Remember who you are. This is a process of life, my friends. We are here to remember who we are, and we are a part of that member. And that member is inside of us. That might have been too deep for y'all, but that is basically me breaking the word. All right, let's get back. Let's get back to this. All right, so like the little bird. All right, we talked about the little bird last week. You know what I'm saying? The little bird, he or she, they know that they're meant to fly, right? And so they're learning to fly. And as they learn, it's more like information of each flight attempt, not failure, right? It's more like information. Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. It's not, oh, my gosh, I'll never fly. It's not like that. Right? That's how we are. You know, we fall and we go, oh, man, I'll never, or we mess up. Oh, I'll never get it. No. The bird's not even thinking those thoughts at all. The bird is just like, hey, well, you know what? It's information on the last flight attempt. Let me take that information in. This is what I did, And so instead they're like, okay, well, I fell down. That's all right. That's all the bird's saying. The bird's not beating itself up. Oh, man, I'll never fly like my brother. Oh, look how far my brother flies. I'll never be like, the bird's not saying anything like that. The bird knows who the bird is. The bird knows what the bird is there for. The bird knows that he or she was created for a purpose, on purpose, to be purpose. Yes. So the bird goes, well, I'm supposed to fall a few times, aren't I? This is part of life. I'm supposed to fall a few times. Of course. I mean, obviously, because aren't I just learning to fly? This is what the bird is thinking. Now, obviously, I don't know what the bird's thinking. I'm not in the bird's head, but this is just what I can imagine that the bird is saying, right? Oh, man, well, obviously, I'm just learning to fly, so of course, I'm supposed to fall a few times. Well, you know what? I will apply that information that I learned from my last flight attempt, and I will try again. I will try again and again and again and again and again and again, and I will continue to accept myself no matter how many times I fall down, because I know that I'm a bird, and I know that I have these wings, so obviously I am meant to fly. But I accept myself right where I am right now. Yeah, my brother, man, he's flying all across the freaking world. That's cool. Good for him. But I am good right where I'm at right now. Maybe, just maybe, I'm being protected from some type of accident happening when I'm flying. Maybe that's why I can't fly yet. See, those are some of the things that we don't take into account as humans. There are some things in your life that are happening right now that may be happening for your good, for your benefit, but you may see it as disastrous, devastating. Maybe you are being protected from something. Maybe if you could accept your current reality and realize that whatever's happening is all right, then you will be okay. But the problem with us as humans is that we want to control every single thing. And particularly, what we want to control is the outcome. Right? So self-acceptance is about you and I first acknowledging our own feelings and our own limitations without judgment, like the little bird. The little bird knows, man, all right, you know what? My wings aren't even fully developed yet, man. Why do I have these expectations on myself that I'm supposed to fly across the world like my brother? No, my wings aren't even developed yet fully. My wings don't even have the strength yet or that capabilities for me to fly that far. So that's self-acceptance. So that little bird is accepting itself. Man, you know what? I acknowledge that I do feel some type of way. I might feel a little envious of my brother, but you know what? I accept my limitations. I'm not supposed to fly like my brother right now. I mean, look at my wings. Look at his wings. I mean, my gosh, I wonder how long it actually took my brother's wings to develop fully like that so that he has the capability now to fly that way. That's cool. I am where I'm at, and that's okay. So when we first acknowledge our own feelings and our limitations without judgment, this helps us to understand ourselves more deeply. So the little bird is understanding itself more deeply. It's understanding itself. Well, my wings aren't fully developed like my brother's. I mean, there's no way. There's no way. Understanding itself. Doesn't have those high expectations on itself. Understands who they are and where they are at that current moment. So accepting yourself doesn't mean that you stop trying to be better, though. Like the bird is still going to try again. The bird is like, well, you know what? I know that I can fly like my brother. I know that I can actually fly far distance like my mother. I will fly that far, and I probably will actually fly further than she has ever flown one day. Yes. So accepting yourself doesn't mean, you stop trying to be better. Accepting yourself doesn't mean for the little bird to go, well, you know what? Nah. I guess this is just the way it is. This is how I'm going to be. I might as well just, when mom tries to, get me up to teach me how to fly, I might as well say, Mom, I'll never be able to fly. I mean, look at him. Look how far he flies. I'll never be like that. Comparison. We start comparing ourselves to other people. The bird's not comparing itself to his brother. The bird accepts itself. If the bird was like, man, you know what? Nah. I'll never be able to do that. I don't even see myself ever flying that far. No. Ma, you know what? Today, I don't think we should even try because what's the point? I'm always going to be like this. I'm always just going to be able to go this far of a length and then I'm going to fall down. Isn't that what always happens? So why try to be better? Why try to fly further tomorrow? Why try to fly further in an hour? I give up. No, accepting yourself simply means you stop self-punishing yourself. You stop using that as a motivator. in other words, the bird could be like, well, I'm just not going to get it. I'm never going to get it, so screw it. Forget it. I'm going to have a F it moment. And you know what that means? I'm not saying a word. I'm going to have an F it moment. I'm just always going to be this way. You know what, Mom? Forget it, man. Like, don't even attempt with me today. Never going to fly. Everybody else will, but I'll never be successful. Everybody else will be successful, but no, not Kareem. No, I'll never be successful. That's not what accepting yourself is, all right? Accepting yourself means that you acknowledge where you are, but you know that you can do better. And so you do better. You put a plan together to do better, to be better. So that little bird is like, all right, Mom, you know what, man? I fell down today. I know what our plan is, though. In an hour, you're going to come back, and you're going to be like, come on. And I'm going to be like, yeah, Mom, I can do it. And we're going to try again. And then if I don't do it, that's fine. I'm not even thinking about that. We're just going to try again. That's how the little bird is. So there's a difference also between being stubborn and acceptance. Because, see, a stubborn person will just continue to be the way that they are. Well, I've always been this way. And this is what I used to do. I used to say, well, this is me. This is who I am. I'll always be this way, so I'm just going to continue being a drunk and drug addict. Or you could be saying, well, this is who I am. This is how I am. I've always been this way. That's selfish and stubborn. Now, the bird, think about the bird. What if the bird would say that? There's no reason for the bird to have wings. Period. I could end this podcast episode on that. What if the bird said that? You know what? No reason. No reason for me to even keep trying to fly. I will never be able to fly. It'll always be like this. I'll always be a bird that walks upon the ground. I'll always be helpless. There is no hope. What if a bird said that? And this particular bird was given wings because this particular bird was meant to fly. They will have no wings. Period. So you, as a human, you are meant to fly. You are meant to soar. You are meant to do great things. May I implore you, may I put that into you right now and encourage you and motivate you. You are meant to do amazing things. You are meant to be amazing. You are meant to be a better version of yourself today than you were yesterday. Yes, you are meant to serve. You are meant to love. You are meant to give. Yes. Yes. So, there's a difference. Right? So don't be sitting up here talking about, well, Kareem, I accept myself. And that's just the way it is. I accept myself. I'm always going to be this way. So I definitely accept myself. No. I'm going to look at you and say, no. You don't. You're stubborn and you're selfish. And you don't care about yourself, is what I'm going to say. Yeah. That is an unwillingness to change. And that is you saying that I reject myself. Because that means that you don't care or receive yourself to become better. Acceptance and approval also are two different things. Because I know that there's a lot of misconception about this, so I just want to go ahead and talk about it real quick, and then we'll be done with this episode. Acceptance and approval aren't the same things. I used to think for a while that they were, though. I was confused. But you do not have to approve or like everything about yourself or your current reality or situation to accept it. You can accept it and still be like, all right, well, I don't really like this, but I accept it. I receive it because this is the way it is, right? Receiving it. This is my reality. This is where I am at, and all is well. Receiving every part of it. So let's just take, for an example, if there is a part about you that you don't like, you take certain baby steps to get to where the improvement, to improve on that part of yourself that you don't like. We could take working out or fitness, for example. Let's take me, for example. I'll take my current reality right now. Me as a current person, my current reality. I just left the gym. And I was like, I'm going to go and do my podcast episode. And you know what? There's a part on my body that I don't quite like about myself. But that doesn't mean that I don't accept myself. And it is my belly. I still have a little bit of belly fat that I want to get rid of. But here's the thing. I may not like it or approve of it, but I still accept myself physically because this is where I am at in my fitness journey. I'm not looking around at all those other people in the gym and be like, oh man, look at his abs. I wish I had abs like that. Oh, I don't like myself. Oh, I don't accept this about me. I got to get... No. Here's why I accept myself. Because I know that one day, if I continue doing what I'm doing, I continue to take the steps that I need to, I will reduce my belly fat. I will reduce it. But right now, this is where I am at in my fitness journey, being the key word. That's like us, and there's some people that do this. Oh, my nose is running, y'all. That's like us. And it is some people that do this. I just repeated that. Some people do this. Oh, I'm going to start working out because I want to lose this amount of weight. And they go to the gym and they start working out and they go for 30 days. And then they quit. And you know why? Because they don't accept themselves. That's exactly why you see people, they make resolutions or they make these goals. And you'll see them in the gym for 30 days, and then you won't see them anymore because they cannot accept themselves because, oh, man, I haven't lost the weight that I want to lose. Do you think that you're going to lose this certain amount in 30 days that you have put a crazy expectation on yourself to lose? No, it's not going to happen. It's a process. So you either trust the process and accept yourself and accept that this is a process and where you are at the current time is where you are, but know that I will achieve that goal if I stick to it. I'm not going to become stubborn and unwilling to change by going, well, I'll always be fat. You know what? This little belly fat that I got, it's always going to be there. It's never going anywhere. Forget it. I might as well just eat what I want to eat. I might as well just give up. That's stubbornness. That's selfishness. No. I accept that I will still have this little bit of belly fat. However, if I continue on my journey and going to the gym and doing certain exercises to reduce my belly fat, if I continue to watch what I eat, then my belly fat will stay in reduction. And then, a year from now or 2 years from now, my belly fat will continue to decrease, and then you'll see the results. But I accept where I am right now in my fitness journey. That's the only part that I kind of don't like about myself. Or I'm just like, dang, man. But that's okay because I am where I'm at right now, but I am doing the necessary things to reduce the belly fat because I do want to become a better version of myself today, and I know that I will. Because the proof is in the pudding. It speaks for itself. As long as I continue doing the necessary things that I need to do, then it will happen. Just like the little bird. The little bird keeps on trying to fly. The little bird knows that it will fly. That is the same thing. So it is a process, folks. I wanted to just kind of clarify that for you because I know that sometimes, I accept myself. It's not going to happen overnight. Oh, well, Kareem just talked about this. You know what? I accept myself. No, I don't want you to just think that it's that easy. It's simple, but it's not that easy. So self-acceptance is more like a total reception or receiving of self. Total meaning including all your flaws, but it also means even your strengths, even the things that are great about you. So here's your homework. Sit in silence for 5 to 10 minutes. I gave you this homework last week. I hope you're doing your homework. Journal exactly how you see yourself right now. Then practice accepting yourself. Here's a way to practice accepting yourself. I want you to practice placing one hand over your heart and then one on your belly. Whether your belly's fat, whether your belly's skinny. Place one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Breathe deeply and repeat. Whatever is happening is okay. Whatever I'm feeling is okay. And do that until you feel grounded. Okay? Next week, we're going to talk about acceptance of others because we can't move on to that until we accept ourselves. That is why we're talking about accepting ourselves today. So let's work on accepting ourselves so that way by the time we get together next week, we can have a discussion about accepting other people and how that is vital for our growth as well. Our growth in love for ourselves, our growth for love for other people. It all goes hand in hand. I love you. Thank you for being here with me. And as I always leave you, take some time to look inside so that the wreckage can begin to clear. Peace.